Kim, it's a pleasure to be here tonight. Helping Americans and helping everyone understand technology has become my passion. I am so excited, not only to participate with so many different types of people, but to see them coming to understand what's going on around them, to see their eyes light up and they go, wow, thank you. It's so awesome. I mean, this has been more rewarding than a lot of things that I've done, even building new technologies and making them go live. Because I think when you make a person go live, when you make a person understand their relationship with technology, the world, and their humanity, you succeed.
Absolutely. There's a lot to understand these days about technology as well. And I know a lot of people are pretty fearful seeing some of the advancements and some of the things that are entering our culture on behalf of technology and AI. So, before we even get started, I want to also explain more about Mark and his background in summary, because there's a lot to say.
So I introduced myself as an American technologist. I'm a gentleman that's been tasked to actually work with a team of people to bring incredible, beautiful, spectacular displays to life. What I mean by displays, I'm talking about LED video boards. And I have done major deployments throughout America. A lot of people have seen the work I've done in sports, or they've been to New York and seen my work in public places, or they've been to DC and been on the subway and seen some of the signs that we've done in the DC area. The most important part of my work was to put up pretty pictures. And Kim, we met when I was just starting to change from worrying about pretty pictures being up to worrying about the security of the pretty pictures and were we going to be hacked. And obviously, the day job working for ANC changed from putting up pretty pictures to protecting the pictures. And then something amazing occurred, which was I started to realize the amount of man hours, the amount of discussions, the amount of time that I was putting into securing these locations, and realized if it was hard for me, it must be hard for all of you guys. And that's when I got real about wanting to help.
We're so glad you have joined this fight with us, because protecting children and safeguarding kids, and that's so important in so many aspects of our culture. But the topic of internet safety, it's so massive because of the pervasiveness, not only of technology, but the amount of devices that kids have access to, the amount of entertainment and information that they consume. And to be fair, there's a lot of positives about technology. And as a technologist, you absolutely know that. So I think what's most interesting about your message and your presentation, you're not coming from a one-sided perspective of saying all technology is bad, keep kids away from technology. And you're also not saying let them have free open access because you know too much, right?
Absolutely. In fact, it's rather ironic because I did my 171st show today of my radio show, and I actually decided to pick on positive aspects of technology and the deployment of those technologies into our daily life. So I love technology. I mean, I'm a consumer of technology. Everything in my office is about technology. I mean, I am as obsessed about technology as other people are about going hunting, playing sports, etc. So a lot of people have come at me saying, are you against technology with the movement and with the discussions I'm having? And I kind of laugh at them and go, no, I'm not. I actually love this stuff. The thing is I want us to be able to have a relationship with it that's healthy. Not only do you want to have a healthy relationship with technology, but you want to have a healthy relationship with your whole family, with your community, with everyone around you. The problem with the current era we're in is that we've become haters. We hate on each other. And unfortunately, the very technology that I love so much seems to be a little bit of the instigator, has actually become the source of that agitation in our society. And Mark has decided, maybe it's time we all have a discussion about this, all of us. So
Yeah,
that's how I got into this. And for you and I, how we're going to fix it, us having a discussion about it.
that is so true. It's so important to hear not only a balanced approach, because we're not here for fear mongering and we're not here to be unrealistic about what it takes to be a parent, but we are here to give practical, applicable tips and information. So, first, let's paint the picture. A lot of people are aware that there's a lot of things on the internet that may not be safe for children. If people have been following us a lot, they know that there's actually a lot of very predatory information out there for children. So I can speak from my perspective, having been a junior decoy in these counter trafficking operations we do with local law enforcement, where I see what predators are telling kids on the internet, and it's horrendous. And children can't unsee that. And that's a whole other passion point I just need people to know about. But from your perspective, Mark, what do you think the main risks are to children when it comes to technology?
When a child uses any form of smart technology, they're at risk of some form of indoctrination. It could be extremely light, the indoctrination of TikTok, that does create addictions, but Cole, let's put that in the category of cigarettes. Okay, an addiction, but you can get over it, and it can be harmful, but it's not always harmful. And then we go all the way from our cigarettes all the way to morphine and the bad stuff. And when we get into the bad stuff, it is when the actual technology is used for little ones to be solicited by elders. That should not be happening. The concept of solicitation has become so easy, and the idea of a DM. Well, DM means direct access, not just direct message, but direct access into people's brains of any information you want to inject. And to see predators use the turmoil that's in every youngster, the wanting to please, the wanting out of their self-esteem to be liked, and then using that against them to get incredibly nasty outcomes, for me is disgusting. But what's more important is we can actually do something about it.
100%. That's what we're here for. So let's unpack that a little bit more because, okay, we know that these platforms, we know that by design, they are designed to be addictive. Now, you're saying that that in and of itself can be harmful for developing minds. But let's talk
Absolutely.
about the difference between the TikTok that we have here in the United States versus the TikTok version in China. Not only how addictive the platform is by design, but the difference in what the indoctrination entails. Do you want to tell us?
Right. You're talking about the patriotic algorithm versus the algorithm designed to basically rot out a society or deplatform our whole country. And people might think, Mark, that's a little radical. No, it isn't. So let's get into it. In China, the same app, TikTok, it has a different name, but I just want you to think of TikTok China. Let's keep it simple. The same app, the same technology is used only to promote positive outcomes of Chinese culture. And then the American counterpart is designed to titillate and to only show the most titillating, the most view provoking activities possible. So that is sensationalism. It is designed to actually really go after the base of our society, the things that all of us are titillated by. So this Chinese app is designed to basically ferret out the very best instincts of a society, as the American counterpart does exactly the opposite. Now, I'm angry about that. And I wonder if people would love this social experiment. Wouldn't it be cool if TikTok would run a TikTok 2, one that is the present version, and then let's get the Chinese version into America and allow people who are running TikTok to use both? Now, I wonder if on the TikTok that is actually patriotic, if it wouldn't draw the country closer together, because what people would be looking at TikTok would be closer aligned to patriotism, as opposed to the American version, which is aligned to basically seduce, so that way you stay on the platform as long as possible. That would be an awesome experiment. But I also think it explains what I'm seeing is a complete difference in the philosophy behind the app. So that means the programming creates and represents a philosophy. So that's why big tech is implicated in this idea of moral decay, the decay of our society, because big tech has made those decisions. And those decisions are the way are you programming the app? How does the app look at people's information? And how does that information get manipulated to keep those people on the platform by titillating them, by making them want to stay on the platform? But that is why when people say, why is TikTok evil. It's not evil. It is the programming has been designed to make you stay. And as you stay, you promote a philosophy.
Mm.
And the Chinese know that, and they have mastered that. And unfortunately, we are relying on the same technologies to kind of divide us.
That's so true. Every platform wants to keep you there, so that's nothing new. But there's the influence of what that content is by design showing people. The other thing you talk about in your book that relates to this is the concept of funnels. In this example of one of many apps like TikTok, they feed you specific information that they know you will likely engage with, not only to keep you there, but possibly even to sway your opinion on things. Can you explain the concept of funnels in summary?
Absolutely. Funnels is fascinating because I want everyone to think about their garden. Does anyone have infinite land to have as many vegetables and shrubs and beautiful flowers, as many as they want? No. Most of the time, we have to make a strategic decision of what are we going to have in our garden. So now imagine social media and you are big tech. There's only so many vegetables you can put into your garden. So imagine the garden now is actually funnels of belief. So they have funnels that go from extreme left to extreme right to everything in between. So in political speak, they kind of try to represent America from a center view all the way to left and a right view. But the problem is ultimately the funnels are narrow. There's probably 20 really distinct funnels that they're using, and those funnels have a bias built into them. They would, for example, suggest that you are a Democrat, you are a Republican, and therefore, based on just that first information, then they will decide what other places they're going to stick you into. But I want to make it clear that someone had to program the places you're going to go as you're using social media. So social media, first of all, has to define who are you? What do you like? And as they're defining what you like going into that funnel, then they suggest things that will make you stay in that funnel longer. And you stay in the funnel longer. And then you suddenly realize 4 hours has passed. And what was I doing? I was just on TikTok and gee, time just flew. Do you know why time dilates so badly in social media? I'm just going to see if Kim will just get this. Why, when you're in social media, does time just fly? Any idea?
The overstimulation of what's happening to your brain?
Yes, but one more thing about that stimulation. You're seeing everything you
Mm,
like.
right.
Imagine if I took you as a little kid back to a toy store, but the toy store had one magical element. It only had all the toys you loved. Every single toy was another iteration of something you love so badly. You would just stay in that world. You wouldn't even know time flew because you'd be in your element, in your funnel. It is so scary when you think about what we're doing to our brains by only programming our brains with the desires and the things we like most.